Spiderhead is a 2022 Netflix psychological thriller film directed by Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski. It stars Chris Hemsworth as a scientist who's using a bunch of prisoners as guinea pigs, testing out various drugs on them in return for a shorter prison sentence. Miles Teller plays one such prisoner. After experiencing a love drug, he begins to question the reality of his emotions. So guys, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I don't review everything that I watch. Every now and then I just like to sit back, relax, turn something on, and just watch it like everybody else. A lot of times that's how it kind of goes with Netflix films, because they don't always strike the same kind of chord as other movies, but there was constantly something special with Spiderhead that I felt the urge to talk about it. I even ended up recommending it to a couple of film enthusiasts like myself because in general, I enjoyed it, but it does have its problems, which I actually wanted to confront first because if you're somebody that ends up hating it, I think I understand why. First of all, I actually think that the film is miscast. Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller, of course, are incredibly talented actors that have proven time and time again that they are worth watching. But these are the kind of roles that are fit for other people, particularly with Hemsworth. He's supposed to be a scientist, and I'm sorry, but with those bulging Thor muscles just ripping out of his science coat, I don't buy it. Nor did I really buy when Miles Teller eventually had to go head-to-head with him that he'd ever stand a chance. Now, they both have the charm and the charisma for the parts, which definitely helped forgive the overall miscast situation. But yeah, I could have used either an older guy for the scientist, or younger, but just smaller, kind of like Edward Norton. That was actually my biggest issue, but I do understand other people's frustration with the film when it comes down to potential, or mispotential, if you will. I think that most people really love the concept. Prison, or a not prison situation, where people are being used as guinea pigs for big pharma in order to lessen the prison sentences. That's kind of cool. I think that they like the psychological questions that the film promotes in terms of what's real, what's not real when it comes down to our emotion. What does that mean? But I'm also pretty sure that most people wish it explored that deeper than it did. They wish it got more psychological than it did. Basically, I think that most people anticipated this film to be The Matrix, where it just makes you question your own reality, especially if you take stuff like aspirin. I have to say, the more and more that I think about it, the more I agree. They could have done so much more with it. But the only way to make everybody happy there would to just not make this a movie, but instead a TV series. That's the only way. And guys, we've seen that happen, so maybe one day it will become a TV show. As it is though, I think that the film works pretty well. And in general, I did enjoy it. I found it engaging enough to the point where I didn't want to pause it, I didn't want to look away, I didn't want to finish it the next day. I had to watch it right then and there. Like I said, I also ended up recommending it to a couple of others because I genuinely did get sucked in by its really interesting premise and execution. I liked the characters, even if they were a little bit miscast. That's where their charm and charisma came into play. I definitely loved how these drugs that they were taking were being used to essentially rewire the brain for conformity. Even if it didn't fully explore everything it could have explored with those drugs, or the psychological aspect of it, what it did do for me was enough. It was enough to make me think. And any movie that makes you think is at least somewhat good. Let's go ahead and break down my final score for a second. We have a letter grade of B and a final score of 78%, which is pretty good overall. You can see based off of my biased and unbiased scores that I enjoyed it more than I thought that it was technically made well overall. But at the end of the day, that is my score. A decent score overall, not the highest it could have been, but far from a bad score. So guys, have you seen Spiderhead? Because if you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Are you in the variety of people that really enjoyed it like myself? Or are you like others that consider it trash? Let me know. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.